Dave here, how are you? How do you like that entry? That was a little bit of an interesting one. I'm hoping we're coming through loud and clear and that the sound is coming through. Around about 1 minute ago, I had no sound. It's crazy. I've been here for 3 hours getting everything ready and yep, it's all good. And then with 1 minute to go, I'm hoping I've fixed it and you can hear the sound coming through okay. Okay, g'day and go Storm. PIP. Yes, we will have picture in picture, and I'm going to read a little bit more. Stuart West Hayall with the time change next week. The show will start at 1 AM here in the UK. And get some more sleep. Exactly right. Well, that will bring me to it straight away. What I'll do is I'll pop up on my screen here. I'll try and find this. Okay, so today we're going to have fun with scroll saw, and we're going to make a spoon. Well, we're going to start making a spoon. A little more on the Stanton bench. You know, last week I had put the screws into this guy here, and I'm hoping I've got the right picture there because I can't see anything. I'm just reading a Word document on the screen here at the moment. John Lafferty out of hospital and running a third printer. Tim Jacobs, this is an amazing young man that I work with, and I'm going to show you some of the talent that he's got. I've shown you a photo before of a Ducati motorcycle engine, V-twin, that he built a model of in timber, and I just found some more stuff that Tim's done. He's a very quiet, shy kind of character, doesn't blow his own trumpet, so I'm going to share that stuff with you as well, with a little bit of chat and Patreon, and I'm going to slide back down to here, get that out of there, and I think it's all good. Excellent. Okay, so we've got plenty of people watching. Peter also sucks. Check mic is on. Audio sucks. Okay. Plenty loud and clear in Melbourne. Sounds okay. Sounds good here in NY. Loud and clear, Dave. Excellent. Okay, well, Peter, maybe you should check what's happening at your end with the sound. I think it should be good. All right, let me get into it. Coffee. I've got coffee as well. Now, you might see there's sawdust on my bench. What's the story there? I've been using the dowel maker a little bit this morning, and I've been knocking these up. You want picture in picture? Let's do that. See if I can find it here. There we go. I've got this camera here. Can you see the dowel? And that's from a stick that's square. How amazing is that? And back to the standard picture. There we go. You're all just fainted from the amazing technology you've just been exposed to. Okay, excellent. Okay, good here in BC. Ian, J. Parra, yay for John. Daryl Wells, sounds good. And Melanie, you're up at the, what is that? That's some kind of a muster up there for the bikes, or is there something else happening there? If you can let us know, Daryl, that'd be great. Sounds okay, but it's a bit distant sounding. Is the Dusty running? Look, I'll tell you what I'll do. It might, no, the Dusty's not running. I've got a room air filter running at the moment. I'll turn that off and see if that makes it any better. Is that any improvement at all or not? Dave's going high tech. Indeed he is. And he's even got, I'm showing this camera here, spare batteries, just in case the sound dies totally. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the scroll saw work straight away. And I've drawn a little bit of a diagram. Now this doesn't need to go in front of the other camera. This will be fine. And all it is a spoon shape. Okay. And okay, so it's good. Sounds great. I'm glad to hear it. Now, I'm going to make a kind of a double-ended spoon, a large one there and a smaller one there. It could be used for measuring. This is not something you go putting in the dishwasher. This would be more ornamental, but it's a little bit of fun. Now, why don't we just get stuck straight in and do it? That's better, is it? Okay, I'm going to move my keyboard down there. There's a bit of an echo. Well, sorry about that. I don't know if I've got anything here that would be causing an echo. Right. Maybe it's picking up some sound from the other cameras, but I'm only seeing on my screen, well, here's another one I've done. Let me see if I can find this one. Monitor, where's monitor? Have I got monitor? Here we go. Have a look at this. You can see what I see. So you're seeing the screen, you're seeing the what's coming down the side in the chat, and I'm going to switch back over to here to the main camera and switch that over. That was a bit of fun. Okay, how long have I been using OBS? And I have tried other software and I haven't been happy with it. OBS is free, so it's all going great. Richard Garnish, we all think it might not be using the lav mic, but it's good enough to go with "you're quite clear." It is this mic that's being used. Evening all from Asheville, Stuart Cotterill. No echo there for John. Don't change anything. I will not change anything. Let's get stuck into the demo. Now I'm going to use a little bit of rosewood. It's the right kind of thickness. It's around 3/8 of an inch, 10 millimeters, 10 maybe 11 millimeters thick. And I'm going to glue this little drawing onto it. Now I'm going to give you a quick tip on doing this drawing, and I'll go to the other camera for this. This is on the scroll saw, so it's going to be nice and close. So there's the drawing. When I'm doing a drawing, I try to do it so that I'm doing an arc like so. I'm not trying to do an inside arc because I'm relying on my wrist moving. See that? To create the arc. Now, of course, if you wanted to, you could use a French curve to do this kind of stuff. But you'll find that once we've done the cutout with the scroll saw, it's going to be fine. And I'm going to use the bobbin sander as well, which I brought up so that we have a bit of a play around with that. And they're both hooked up to the CT26. Now, one at a time, basically. I'm just reading through a little bit here as well. Sounds okay, no echo at mine. Thanks, Paul. All right, so that's it. Now I'm going to cut this shape out and I'm going to glue it onto there. So this is kind of like kindergarten, but that's okay. I don't mind. There we go. And I'm going to use this stuff. Now I'm not sponsored by this crew. I just find that their glue is pretty good. A little bit of glue on here. I'm using this because this is fast initial tack when it comes out of the bottle. There we go. And use the brush to smear it out a little. Probably a little bit too much on there, but that's okay. How's everyone's week been? I'm going to start chatting a little bit while I'm doing this. You all had a good week. I haven't been keeping up with the weather around the world at the moment. I've been enjoying myself. As was mentioned, as New South Wales and some of the other states in Australia, and I'm in New South Wales, are going to daylight savings next Sunday morning. So that will be before next show happens. So Graham Ormisher from England told me a good way of remembering it, and that is when you're going into daylight saving, it's daylight saving, not savings. When you're going into daylight saving, it's you spring forward. You're in the spring season, so the way to remember it, he's told me, is spring forward, and when you're going into autumn, they also call it fall in other countries. Fall back, spring forward in spring, fall back in autumn. I reckon it's a great idea. So we're going to go forward 1 hour, which means, all right, I'm going to pop this down on here. And the other good thing about this glue, I found with ordinary paper, it doesn't bleed through it. So I think this is a great glue. Now, Type Bond, if you want to sponsor me, I'd love it. There we go. So I have the shape stuck on there now, and that's going to be fine. I'm going to leave that dry for a little bit. We'll have a little bit of a chat. I've been drinking a lot of coffee this morning. I think it's a bit gluggy, but I'm in a kind of a rut. I drink the coffee, makes my throat a little bit gluggy from the milk in it, and then I drink more coffee to get rid of the glugginess, but it compounds the issue. Where is it? Anyone see my coffee? There it is. Okay, no prizes for anyone because I found it. All right, now put that back on there and out of the way. While I'm waiting for that to dry, what we'll do is have a little bit of a chat about this little guy here. This is my Veritas dowel maker. Can you see it? You probably won't be able to see it too much from there. I'm not going to put the other camera on it, but all these shavings are from making dowels this morning. They look like Harry Potter's wands, don't they? These are a 9mm. And how I know that is you can dial in pretty accurate with this machine, or with, well, it's a jig, it's a cutter. And then what I do is I get my drill. I've got two of these. One set is a complete set of drill bits, and the other one is another cradle from another set. Over time, I've smashed the bits and the top got broken. I thought, you know, I'm not going to throw this away because this has got all of the sizes for my drills. And so, pull the glasses out because this is the part I need. What I do now is the actual piece of dowel that I've made, I slide in until I find the right diameter. Now that one is, got to read it of course, 8.5 to 9. 9mm will be pretty good. See that? I don't know if you can see that or not. But it's a great idea. And then check this one as well. Yep, 9mm will be fine. 9, that's fine too. A little tight on that one. But what do you think of that? Very handy idea. And I got to say thank you to Veritas for sending that over to me. I did a video on this thing, on the dowel maker, and I might muck around with it next week. I did a video because I had a subscriber say, Dave, I need to use I want to buy the Veritas dowel maker, and I've got no idea how to use it. And all the videos on YouTube I've seen, it's just people going, I'm driving this thing in with the drill, and that's it. No one told you anything about it. Now I did a video on it, but I thought it might be fun to revisit that. So when I got in touch with Veritas, I said, I've got a subscriber interested in getting your gear. What do you want to do? And they said, look, we'll send something over for you. And I was over the moon. How nice was that of them? Talking about Veritas, if you're in Australia, I'm filling time while this glue sets a little bit. Doesn't take long. Fast initial tack, they call it. So talking about Veritas, on the 17th of October, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st of October, I think, that's next month, today's 30th of September, the wood dust is on. So that's down at Bungendore, down near Canberra, the ACT in Australia. This is for people in Australia. And the Veritas crew are coming over, so Vic Teslin will be down there as well, and I'm going to do the live stream from the show. So nothing will change except for it won't be in my workshop, and I'll be doing it totally with my phone, I think. Now, I think also the show is going to have their own channel, and I might be being broadcast out by that as well. So we'll see what happens. It could be fun. So Veritas is going to be there, and also Veritas is doing a tour around the east coast, I think, of Australia. So if you can get along and see Vic, he is a talent with hand tools. Very, very clever man. All right, I think that might be dry enough. 11:15, and this is probably the first time that I've jumped into a show and actually started doing stuff. Do you have any tips where you go, how you choose? Is there a way within the social community to share local deals, happening sources? Vance, yeah, on Facebook, on the Dave Stanton live stream Facebook page, we share information. Now, there was one of the guys, Alistair Wyatt, has just purchased a whole heap of timber from Tasmania, and he's got it sent back over to him, and he is distributing it amongst the people in Melbourne. So if you want to get a hold of some timber, by all means, if you're in the country, you can do that. If you're in another country, why don't you guys set up something on my page where you can say, right, well, this is a great place for getting it, or I've got some. If you want to get some, it's fine. They should be coming to Melbourne. I think they are. They'll probably go to the Melbourne Carbon Tech store, Planting 3125. check on Carbotech's website because it's got the schedule about where the guys are going, and that's going to be great. They're on Tuesday, the Tuesday after the Wood Dust show. They're going to be in the Sydney store, so I'll be hanging out there with Vic as well. Carl, Dave, I use a spray-on contact cement to attach the pattern to wood. It dries a lot faster, and if you spray light, you can peel it off. Well, thank you very much for that. I think maybe we should get stuck in, move the coffee. Now, there was a couple of questions. Can't get the tension right on the saw. I'm going to switch to PIP, or PNP. Here we go. How cool is this? I'm going to spin this around a little bit so that it's going to be a bit that way. So you're going to see me push that back a little further in a proper context in it all. Because if you saw the picture in the picture over on the other side of the screen over there, it'd look a bit strange. It'd be kind of backward where I'm doing this and I was over there, over the other side. So I'm working mirror reverse as well while I'm doing all this. So that's that. And I'll do another quick read. Switch to almond milk. I've already tried almond milk, didn't like it. Carl, you use that. 3M makes good contact, spray mount. Okay. Now, tension. That's how I check. I plug it. The higher the pitch, the tighter it is. Now you get to a certain point where you can't tighten it anymore, and the way I tighten it is at the back of the saw here. I don't know if we'll be able to pull it back forwards. There we go. See this guy? That up and down, and depending on where it is, that will work. Oh, you rotten thing! It's the power lead got caught for the scroll saw, got caught under the cabinet here that's holding the bobbin sander up, and wouldn't let me put the saw in the right place. So this here is the guard. It can be taken off. You can adjust the height. You can't see anything there, can you? There you go. This is the guard. This is adjusts the height of the guard. It carries the little blower on it at the same time. The guard can be undone just here. There's an Allen head screw. You can undo that, or a hex head screw, whatever you want to call it. Internal hex, how's that sound? So I know of one person, as in Tim, says, see this guard? It gets in the way, get rid of it. So, I don't know, I think I'll leave it there. I'm going to raise it up a little bit, but I understand what he says. So he can't get in super close. Now, this is a very fine blade. I think it's around 20 odd teeth per inch. Should give me a fine finish. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on. And I always turn my scroll saw on flat out before I turn it down. So I've got a little adjuster down here that's like a potentiometer. Turn it all the way up, and then I back it off to what speed I want it. Now, faster it goes, the easier, I think. And you're going to see it looking as though it's kind of going kind of slow. It's like wagon wheels in the old Wild West movies where they actually look like they're turning backwards. What have we got here? Hey, Dave, just arrived home, so missed the start. It's all right, Ron, you can watch the beginning. Now, also, thank you very much, Ron. He gave me a bit of a rap. If you didn't see it, one of his last videos, so jump over there, have a bit of a look at his videos, and you might see me being a bit of a turkey. Steve H, also if you use painter's blue tape on the wood, then spray contact on the tape and attach your pattern, then you can just peel off the tape and no scraping off the glue. Look, if milk doesn't come from a nipple, is it really milk? Well, look, I've never seen a coconut with nipples, but coconuts, you get coconut milk. That's what they call it. Okay, enough of that. I'm going to turn it on, so the Dusty is going to turn on as well at the same time. And I've turned it up full bore. Now, that's pretty much rubbish, but at least, where are we? I'll come back to this one. There you go. I've got the basic shape. What I'm going to do next, it's not bad for rosewood. It's easier with pine or other softwoods. Let me have a read here. I'm us, Dave. Yep. I'm going to have a quick read. And I'm going to switch back to the other camera here so you can see what's happening. If you want, Carl, I can get it anytime in the hardware store that supplies film business. Sue B, off to the corner. I must, Dave, love the PIP working great. Can't hear you, Darren. Okay. What? That was a stinker of a cut, but it ended up okay. I'm going to clean it up. Audio in the camera, not from your mic. I think it is. Thanks, John. I'll file that in my somewhat underpowered memory. Save the offcut as a pattern for next time. You won't go, okay, hi Dave, you seem to be doing far better than the guy on the right. I don't know. Shall I blame the blade? Maybe I should. This is a pinned blade. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to drill a couple of holes. Big enough for the pinned blade to work through. So I'm going to release this on the back and I'm going to push this down. Come on. It tends to get warm in there. There's also a little, where is it? Here it is. There's a little Allen key on board, and that lets me get in there. See that? How cool is that? Done. It's a very fine blade. Let's get a drill, and I think I'll use a drill that's going to be big enough. I'm going to drill a hole in here and put it over there. And the other end. Now, if I'd been really smart, what I would have done is drill a larger diameter hole and have that as the circle at the end. Now, how am I going to move this? That's the way. Up out of the way for the moment. Put that through there, and it should be okay. It's a little bit interesting while you've got around about 3 million sets of eyes on you. Because the rest of this is hidden down in there. There we go. There. And then we tighten this up. Beautiful. Back again. Move that out of the way. How are we going for time? 1:30. And all we've watched is me make a mess. Now I'm going to cut this out, but I think I'll go start at this point and go, all I'm doing is cutting this shape out here. So I'll switch the cameras around to PIP again. And transition. There we go. That should be all right for you to see that. I'm going to do a quick read. Will shape up nicely. Yes, it shall. Dave just tuned in, enjoying an awesome rainy day in southeast Queensland. Tom, yes, but the tooth profile. It's a fine. They say it's a fine cut. I think it's a down. It's not a skip tooth. It's not all that kind of stuff. You just buy the spoon, would you, Ron? Good on you. 119 and 28 thumbs up. Watch it, the on-off switch, and don't want to see any accidents. Exactly right. So that's why it's way under here. All right, I'm going to turn it back on again. And which way should I go? I think I'll go this way. Do you guys like going clockwise or counterclockwise when you're doing this? Curious. Here we go. drop this down a little bit lower so it's got the blower a little bit closer. That. There we go, it's not too bad. Get this off here. Pull that all the way up. I understand now why Tim was saying the guard is a pain in the bum. Look at that. I'm starting to get the hang of it. All right. Going to take that off there, put on the bobbin sander. Now, if you're curious as to what kind of fittings I'm using, I'm going to spin this camera over to there and go to the main one. What I'm using is the 36mm hose and fittings. Now, this is a non-anti-static. This is just a standard one. Festool make it, Bosch make it, you know, the same kind of a fitting. And I've put a little bit of duct tape or masking tape around the outlet there, but on the bobbin sander it goes in perfectly. So I'm very happy with that. Inside. Camera, I'm going to move this camera up and around. And I need to see what's happening on the other screen so I can help you guys out. That's pretty good. Beautiful. High tech. I'm going to do another quick read. G'day Steve, how are you? You want me to throw my scroll saw in the bin? I probably should. It's a Jet, and I know the Excaliburs and the Generals and all those kind of things are a whole lot nicer, and they use pinless blades. You know, what do you do? Where are we up to? Just sitting in the background, Steve. Okay, Tom. Yeah, they're somewhat nice too. I'm still using the free blades that came my scroll saw 20 years ago, Tim. Did you? Are you? All right. Now, where are we? We're up to here. Now, bobbin sanders. I don't know which one I'm going to talk to. I'm going to spin the picture in picture over. There we go. Okay, come around here so it's easier for you to see me as well. Okay, so the bobbin sander turns this direction. So we need to make sure that we're pushing against the oncoming. Otherwise, it's going to grab. Now, also, when I get to a peak around about there, I normally try and come back that way. So I'm going to tidy up the edges to start, and then we're going to do something a little bit interesting. Here we go. So the work in the scroll saw at the beginning is okay, but it's not brilliant. clean that up a whole lot, just moving it around like that. I'm going to start on the other side now. Instead of having it that way up, I'm going to flip it over. I've got a reasonably clean cut on the inside, and I've got a reasonably good go there. Now, before I jump into using a carving tool, I'm going to adjust the angle. To do that, I take out that disc, and where's the slotted one? I had it here, and I put it somewhere special, I'm sure. David, where did you put it? One of those things, isn't it? You get everything right, and you say, right, we're all ready, set, go. I was using it yesterday. I was. Talk amongst yourselves again for a second, guys. Is it in the drawer? Ha! It was in the drawer. Now when you put it on, notice that one end is closer than the other, but there is that little dent, little rebate there, and it lines up with that one at the front. So it's an elongated hole. Spin around at 45 degrees. I'll work off the gauge on the front. Yep. There we go. So now I've lost the spoon. Dear. There it is. Don't panic. So you can see okay there. That's going to be all right. I'll bring this camera down a little. There, that might work better. Have a quick read. The general saw. That's the one I was talking about, Steve. Yeah. Love the new camera program. Excellent. Steve, after seeing how you're struggling with that blade, this will be gone with those Pegasus blades. No fighting, no jumping, and no guard needed. Tim, are the benefits of the bobbin sander to a belt disc sander? You can sand concave surfaces. Yes. Okay. So with a belt sander, if I wanted to, I could set the belt sander upside down on the bench, and then do this right on the nose of the belt. You know, that's how I used to do it all the time. Here we go. But this is a lot more control. So I've got a lot more control over it here. Here we go. Careful here. See? So be very careful. Coming from the side. Leave that last bit go. One thing I forgot to mention, if you're staying at the bottom, you're on 45 degrees. The further up you go, it's not 45, so it's a transition back to 90 degrees on the side there. slowly starting to look spoonish. I get a little bit nervous around the corner. There we go. The grit in this, I think it's 120. So I'm happy with that. It's going to allow me to get shaping a little bit, pardon me, with a chisel, maybe a hand. I find that's nice and quick just to get it started. There are special carving knives that you can use, carving jacks and things like that. There's one called a spoon jack. So I might look at getting one of those. But this is a start. Next week, I'm going to get Arthur's carving set out and try and make him proud. He'll probably turn in his grave when he sees me using his gear, but nonetheless, we're going to give it a shot. I'm going to try and take out that shape there. All right, switch back from that camera over to this one. And how cool is this? You can use Carl, you can even out the wear on the sanding sleeve to some extent by flipping it end for end, of course. John, oh gee, thanks guys for the tip with the blades. Might get some and give it a go. Right height, what grit size? I've already said. Darren, it would be handy if could change direction of the spin. Yeah, but it's a left-hand thread in this machine. I was going to change the bobbin round to this one, maybe to that one earlier on today, but I decided I'd just stick with the big fellow for the moment. I would use the 1-inch belt sander for most of that. Yeah, probably. Except I don't have a 1-inch belt sander. Maybe I should get one. Great trying the old way. Yeah, I will. It'll be fun. I've had people say to me, you know, Dave, you've got to get into using some of Arthur's tools and show a bit of the heritage. How would a speed controller work slower, maybe easier to use? Possible, or, you know, I just get in there with a chisel. But I thought going around all of those shapes, and I've lost it again, of course it's got the picture on it, going around all those shapes, it might be nice. But look, that's a comfortable handle. It's a very comfortable grip for me. And also the other way is not as comfortable because it's got, you know, all that spoon hanging out. But, you know, why not? It's a bit of fun. And a little bit of shape in the middle just to give it some relief. And I'll carve down into that so it looks like it's, you know, a couple of timber rods holding it together. Now, my stuff is not a scratch on this other young fella called Tim. Now, Tim works with me, and I'm going to show you a picture of Tim receiving an award a while back. This is maybe 3 years ago, and obviously now he's a young man. He was a kid at school there, and I'm going to show you what he went into. He went into a competition to make a whirligig. Now this was an international competition and Tim won it. He was 16 or 17 when he did Google SketchUp. He made this whole thing. Steve, you'd be proud of him. And he carved the whole thing. This was his second one. He did one earlier, and you can go and have a look at his webpage if you wish. And I'll tell you what his webpage is in a minute. I might even try and load it up. But you ready? Here we go. This is the entrance for the competition he did. Whirligig Wars. work that he's done in that. There's a crank at the back there, he said, just in case the wind wasn't blowing. You can see him here with his finger turning it. Everything working in it. He cut the lot out. He made all those figures. He made the blade for the sawmill. Then got a little guy up the top pulling timber off the rack and loading it up. Remember, he was 16 or 17 when he made this. And he won a lathe and some other things. But he's a very shy kind of character, very shy character, and I was just amazed. There you go. What did you think of that? Now, I shut the sound down into it because I saw there was other sound happening. I thought, hello, what's the story there? Okay, I'm looking here as well as I'm going along and making sure that everything's working fine. There's my transition, turn that one down to there. Picture in picture. Everything's looking good there as well. I'm coming back. I was just doing a couple of checks. Yeah, exactly right. Understands the way of the old. It was absolutely magic. Now, if you want to find Tim's website, and he's got another whirligig up there, and he's had about 10,000 views on his YouTube channel. He's only got about 40 people subscribing to him. So I want you to go over to his site. I'm going to bring that up when I find it here. Give me a second. And there. I'm going to copy it and paste it into the comments when I've finished the show. I'm scrolling back through things here. So when I finish the show, and I'm having to get myself sorted here as well. There we go. When I finish the show, I will put a link to his YouTube channel. Jump in there, have a look at both of the whirligigs he made. The other one was a little band. It looked like the Beatles and stuff, but he's built one with a grand piano and a guy tapping away, and drummer, just amazing. Now, as I say, I'll put a link in the description, or not in the description box, just in the comments. Go and have a look, subscribe to his channel, give him a comment as well, because, you know, I reckon young people should be encouraged, especially in this crazy world that we're in, with this love of being creative and working with timber and other kinds of medium. Where are we? 10 minutes to go. He's also made a credenza. I think it's called a cadenza. It's just this beautiful thing, timber hinges. The guy's a talent. Very, very clever young man. Where were we up to? That's right, we're going to drill out the holes for this. Where are we? Now this is the apron for the Stanton bench. All the sawdust here. People will say, what's the story, Dave? You've got sawdust. Can't have that. And I'm going to turn this camera around this way and see if it's going to be able to play ball with what we're doing here. Yes, it will. This is fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love it. Go picture in picture again. Back to there. There we go. Now I've got screws in here and here and here and here. And I'm going to take those out and we're going to put some dowels in instead. That's why I said we were going to do this last week. Take the screws out. Go a bit faster, put it on the draw speed. Whoop, that's quick. 118, 47 thumbs. So there you go. And what size drill did I say we needed to check as well? So we'll use this, and I'll put the pieces of dowel that I made into there. That's 9, 8.5. I think I'll go with 9 millimeters. This one will also be 9, and also 9 will be fine with those. So looking down through here, 9 millimeters. It's this one. Notice that I don't cut my fingers. If they're up that way, as you're pulling a drill bit out, if they're sharp, you'll cut your fingers. I always put them in the other way up. And pop it in the drill. Put that one away, because that's what I do. Let's see if I can drill this down without stuffing it. Good. It tends to follow the screw hole. It's like a pilot. It tends to straighten you up. Done. And what to do? A little bit of glue, and I'm just going to use type 1 too. If I can get it off there. There we go. Not a problem. I tend to run glue down either side of a hole when I'm doing doweling. And just a little bit on there as well. Tap him in. Done. Flush cut saw. This guy. And the next one. I'm going to give the saw a quick wash when it's finished to get the glue off it, so it's not a panic at this stage. Now, a flush cut saw has no set, so it's not going to cut the surface at all. And I'm going this way because, and it's a Japanese style saw, it's pulled towards you. I'm going this way because this is around about 1.5 millimeters lower than this point. That's the way I built it. Now, if you're curious about getting one of these benches, I will be getting them out to everyone. If you want one, I'm just finalising a few things with my connection in the States. And hopefully we should be able to start producing them. Not in any great mass amount, just a couple here, a couple there. So if you're interested, by all means, send me an email, and we've just about finished up working out some prices. Not horribly expensive, but we'll do the job. There you go. How nice is that? Now on top of that, the cushion strip will go on there and hide it, so you won't see any of that. What do you think of this picture in picture? Here we go, still there, so I shall now switch it over to there and back to there. I'm going to quickly give this a rinse. Where is it? Before this glue starts to go off. Now, I use surgical brushes for this. So I use surgical brush. These things are fantastic. And there's the saw, all clean. Give her a pretty dry. And if I was really, really, really good, I would I'd hit it with some camellia oil as well. I'm just going down the center there. And I'll sit this out in the sun a little bit later on today, and I'll get nice and dry. Don't try and dry it off, because it's a saw blade. You know, it's... what do you do? So, okay, pop that over there. What do you think, guys? Did you have a fun day? PP is the goods. What is PIP? PIP stands for picture in picture. So when I've had both the cameras running, so you can see me being a bit of a turkey, and you can see the what was happening directly on the machine. So this camera was focused on here, and I had it focused on there, and I had it focused on here, and you can experience all the debacle that I was going through. I'm going to Tim, great work, China, from Peter. Tim G, not me, another Tim. Tim may or may not be watching. We'll have to have a look. Where are we now? I will come to, I'm going to have a quick look down the side here. Okay, this was a photo I threw up on Facebook during the week. This poor old Barry. What kind of oil? Camellia oil is the one that they recommend. And poor old Barry, I was getting a whole heap of people on the live stream page to put a caption to that photo. It was good fun. He loves a bath. You know, people think dogs don't like baths. Well, that's probably because you hit them with freezing cold water. But I always make sure the water's nice lukewarm, so it's nice for me to touch, so it's fine for Barry to get put in. He doesn't fight at all. He goes straight in, doesn't care. Where are we? What's the next thing I've got down here? So I told you there. Now also, if you wanted to have a look here, I've got another, pardon me, a Stanton bench that's been in production. So this is a gentleman over in the States, and I'm going to read it for you. This is Kevin Mickey, and he says, thanks for the awesome videos and design. This is my first CNC project, and it came out pretty well, even if I say so myself. I made it with VCarve and a Vicam CNC at marketplace.com. I guess that's a special place for doing things in San Diego, CA. 3/4 inch 2x4 foot maple ply cut off from my hardwood dealer, or cut off cut, I would normally call that. 3/8 of an inch spiral down cut, except for the cookie holes, which was a 1/4 inch spiral up cut. Holes were too small for the 3/8, and I didn't have a small down cut. I would still use an upcut in those holes, because otherwise you're going to try and force all of the waste to the bottom of the hole, and it's going to fight against it. It'll get burning. T-track isn't screwed in, and I exposed a couple of voids, dark spots in the third column from the right. I'll have to fill before putting down the non-slip strips, but otherwise no problems. Version 2 will add the chamfer to the holes for the SuperDog compatibility, and a final pass around the entire frame to square up the holes. Version 3 will add the skirt. V1 and 2 will become general use shop fixtures for all users. Regards, Kevin. Which I reckon is great. How good is that? I love to be able to share what's happening here, and it's very flattering too, and I enjoy the fact that people are making them and getting good use out of them. One other thing I wanted to show you before we went was I can put in the dogs and the inserts without using the drill. So here's one of John's legs. He's still got other legs at home. He's fine. He'll be right. And what I do is I put it onto, with the screw side, where there's a little slot in it, screw it on straight away onto here. This is my driver. And do you think it works? You watch. Okay. There's the, where is it? Where's the hole? There it is. There's the hole for it right there. Do you reckon picture for this one? Why not? Let's switch her over. Don't go yet. But wait, there's more. I'll tip it down a little bit so you can see it closer. Here we go. Put it into there. And it starts turning. How good is that? What do you reckon? Sexy legs, John, yeah. They don't call him Stumpy for nothing. There we go. So that should do you for this week. As I say, next week we'll probably try and do some carving. Carve this little spoon shape out and maybe do a little bit of whittling around the edges. But it's good fun. I was talking to someone the other day, and I don't want to get lost with the technology that I've got here. I still want to be able to do, you know, little things like this. Scroll saw, you know, these are an economical thing. A lot of people can afford these. A lot of people can't afford the machine out there, and I understand. I get that totally. So I want to do a few projects as well where we're having fun with this. I'm going to do a project for the CNC where I create a file in front of your eyes, and we'll take it over to the machine as well. And I don't know if I'll do that as a show topic. I might, but it's been fantastic learning everything. Anyway, there we go. That's going to do me, and I'm going to go with the intro and text for the outro. So thanks everybody. Look after yourself, be kind to each other, and I shall see you next week. Remember, we will be 1 hour earlier next week. See you later. Where is it? There we go. Nearly lost it.